Hello everybody, how are you doing tonight? It is Tuesday night. We're doing our training on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday of the month. And then the other Tuesdays, we're going to be doing Zoom chats. So everyone can kind of come on and we're not going to have necessarily a topic. We're just going to kind of go in and if you have questions, you can talk or we can just joke around and tell jokes the whole time. I'm not sure how many people are going to be able to come on, but the beauty of Facebook Live is that it saves. So you guys can watch it later. So I should have posted what we were going to talk about tonight, but I feel like there's been a lot of questions coming up about charting, and so I'm going to go over some basic things, maybe some things you don't know about it. I'm not going to go super duper duper in depth. If you want me to, I love charting so much. So if you ever have a question about charting, I might not know the answer, but I can certainly try, and I would enjoy trying because I like that. Hello, Rhonda. Good to see you. So we're going to start talking about charting, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some profile tips that I have I learned from John Eric, and I'll kind of get into that in a second. Well, hello, Rachel, and hi, Tanya. Good to see you. Glad you guys are here. Okay, so we're going to start out, like I said, since this is recorded, I'm just going to start going because you guys can always watch the playback. So, okay, we're going to start out with charting. I hope I can switch the screen around. I can. So I'm going to show you guys this here. Okay. Before we talk about charting, there's a few words I want you to remember and know. BV stands for bonus volume. Basically, bonus volume is every product is assigned a BV, a bonus volume number. So, for example, the wraps are $59, but they're 54 BV. And so when you or customers place an order, it keeps track of the bonus volume, okay? Personal bonus volume, that is all of the orders that we're going to be coming directly underneath you. So that's going to be coming from your customers in your personal order. So your 80 BV auto shipment counts in your personal bonus volume. Your loyal customers that you keep and place directly under you, that is considered your personal bonus volume, okay? Now that's different than GV, which is called group volume. Now group volume is going to come from your entire organization. So what does that mean? That means it comes from you, your personal bonus volume, but it includes all of your loyal customers, includes all of your distributors volume and any of their loyal customers or distributors volume. So it's everything in your entire, we use the word downline sometimes or organization, but it's all of the orders underneath you. That's how you get, that's your group volume, okay? Commission qualified, that just means that you're qualified to earn your commissions, and there's two ways that you are commission qualified in this business. The first way is the way that I recommend, of course, is your 80 BV auto shipment each month. So if you're running an 80 BV auto shipment, the reason why I recommend that, a couple of reasons. Well, one, it assures you that you're being a product of the product, and in this business, it's really the best way to fall in love with products and to talk about products is if you're using them yourself. So are there some products you might not be able to use? Sure, find something that you can use. I'm sure lots of you know this, but when I joined, I've been either pregnant or nursing or trying to get pregnant my entire time with It Works. So there's been different times throughout my time that I haven't been able to use certain products, but it has never held me back because I've always just found some products to fall in love with and share about. And the other products that I can't use, I just share other people's stories and testimonies, and I just look forward to when I can use them. So commission qualified, the best way again is having your 80 BV auto shipment because it ensures that you're a product of the product, and it's also the only safe way to get your commissions. The other way that you can be commission qualified in this business is 150 personal bonus volume. Now remember, personal bonus volume is yours and the loyals right underneath you. So if you have 150 personal bonus volume, you're also commission qualified. The only thing that worries me about that is that let's say that you had like 160. Okay, so you're 10 over. You're like, oh great, I'm commission qualified. Let's say one of your customers ordered the wraps or really anything, or the greens, whatever it is. That's 30 BV. We'll say it's the greens because that's 30 BV, and they return them. Well, all of a sudden, you were commission qualified, but if a customer returns a product, then you're all of a sudden not commission qualified for the month before, and they can actually do clawback, and so there's just no safety in that. So if you are going to do 150, make sure that you're safely over, but that's why I always recommend that you are at 80 BV in your auto ship. If you have any questions about that, you can either, I think you guys can even type in here, so I would love if you guys have questions if you just pop them up and start talking. But otherwise, if you have questions, you can message me later or anything too. Also, the other one is qualified leg. So qualified leg requires a group volume of 400 So when we talk about qualified legs here, just know that that means it is a distributor. That is one of your legs that is qualified, which means it has 400 group volume. So as we're looking at our charts now, we'll talk about that. So, okay, as we're charting, there's a couple other things I wanted to say. Whenever I'm charting, I always chart at least one chart above. So, for example, if I was just getting started, I would be looking at my executive chart, but I'd also have my Ruby chart in front of me, okay? So as soon as I hit Ruby, or as soon as I'm getting close, I'm gonna have my Emerald chart right out in front of me, so I know where I'm going. It's really good to be charting at least the one that you're going for. Hey, Tiff, and hey, Nikki, you signed up too, and Jenny's here, I think. Perfect. Love seeing you guys. So I always, hey Ashley, so I always have a couple, at least one chart ahead I'm looking. So whatever it is that you're looking at, again, you're looking at your next chart ahead just so that you know where you're going. So when we're going to be looking at our charts now, we're just going to, it's not super complicated charting, but some people, we're just going to go over some basics. So your first chart, and I just use some basic names. This is our executive chart. So if you're just getting started, this is where you're starting. You are at the top, and then there's two boxes. Boxes represent distributors. And then you can see that those are qualified legs. It says 400 GV. That just means that this is you, and you signed your distributor Cindy, and you signed a distributor Nicole. And hey Denise, and as soon as Cindy has 400 group volume and as soon as Nicole has 400 group volume, then you are promoting to executive. So that is your very first goal that you're looking for. Loyal customers, remember your group volume can come from loyal customers or distributors under you. So Nicole could technically, she could have a distributor under her that's helping with the group volume, but so it can look different ways. But for you yourself to be promoting to executive, you need 2 distributors, and each of them needs to be qualified, meaning they have 400 group volume. Okay, and we kind of talked about where the volume can come from, but that's your first promotion, okay? If you guys have questions, remember you guys can type them in here or ask me later. I haven't seen anything, I've seen them, some things pop up, some words, so I know that I can see them. I don't know if there's a delay or anything, but okay, so let's say that now we're moving from executive to Ruby. So remember, as you're starting, you always want to be looking at that Ruby chart because we're going for those Ruby bonuses, and because you want to be looking at least 2 ahead of you. So we're going to be looking at executive and Ruby now. The next one we have is going from executive to Ruby. Now the way you fill it in, so remember my first 2 were Cindy and Nicole. So now here we have Cindy and Nicole. Those are still my very top line directly under me. Okay, so we have Cindy, Nicole. So in order to be Ruby, it's a team of 5 distributors. Now your distributors can come, they could be you have personally enrolled them, it could be somebody that on your team enrolls them, or technically somebody from your upline could have placed somebody under you too. Now we never, that sometimes happens for some people, sometimes not. So that is just something that if it happens, great, but otherwise it's your business. So just be working to build that on your own. Here we have you. Okay, so remember Cindy, Nicole on your first top line, so then your third one is Sarah. So this means that you have 3 distributors on your top line, and then Cindy goes executive. We call this a title box when they have when they are one of the promotion boxes. So then Cindy is executive with Samantha and Rachel. So Ruby again is a team of 5 distributors. You are at the top, and you have 3 distributors at your top, and one of them, who is Cindy, has 2. Now Nicole and Sarah could have distributors under them. That's great. That's fine. But when you're looking at your Ruby chart, you need to just have Cindy needs to have 2. So Cindy can't have 1 and Nicole can't have 1. It needs to have an executive leg underneath on one of your top liners, if that makes sense. So if you are looking to promote, you always have to be commission qualified. Remember, that means qualified to earn your commissions, and there's 2 ways. And I'm just going to only be talking about the 80 BV auto shipment because it's the safest way. So in order for you to be commission qualified, to promote, you have to be commission qualified. So that's why I said you need to be, if you are going to promote, you need to have an 80 BV auto shipment. Cindy, because we call this a title box, she needs to be commission qualified, and that means either, again, she's at 80 BV. If Cindy, for example, if you were going for Ruby and Cindy didn't, for some reason, run an auto ship that month, she just needs to be commission qualified through 150 personal bonus volume. The rest of these gray boxes, those are representing qualified legs, and those boxes need to have 400 group volume. So obviously Cindy's going to have 400 group volume if these 2 each have 400, because Cindy's group volume comes from anything below. Just like Nicole and Sarah could have distributors under them contributing to their group volume, but just know that in order to be a qualifying leg, they need to have 400 group volume underneath them. So Ruby leg, 3 on your top line, 3 legs, we call these legs, and then one of your legs is an executive leg, and in this case, this is Cindy. Okay? I don't know if there's any questions about that. I just want to go over the basics of that. Let's say, for example, there's a lot of different ways. I don't know how deep actually I want to go into charting, just because there are there's so many different things I could go over, but if you have questions about charting and placing loyal customers and placing distributors, please talk to your sponsor. If your sponsor doesn't know, just talk to me or one of the other leaders, just because it's really important. Remember, like I said, just like you can place distributors, you can place loyal customers, which so you can help all of your teammates become qualified legs by placing loyal customers, and you can work together as a team, which is why I love this business so much. So if you do have any questions about placing any customers or distributors, just make sure you're talking to somebody and knowing what you're doing right. Okay, so that is what I was going to talk about as far as charting. Like I said, pretty basic stuff. The other thing I was going to talk about was profile. Now you get to look at me. I'm going to turn on my thing, I think. Okay. There's a guy, his name is John Eric, and he's really, can you clarify what it means to be boxed in for? Boxed in for Ruby, is that what you mean? Okay, so sometimes people are going to say they're boxed for Ruby, or they're boxed for their next promotion. That's a great question. So you can be boxed for promotion, but you still aren't ready to promote. I'm not sure if that's what we're talking about, but if you're boxed in for Ruby, it means that your distributors are in place, but you still need to fill in some volume. So you still need to get each leg qualified. So you could have the distributors in the places that they need to be. But let's say Rachel just signed up and that she doesn't have 400 group volume yet. So she has 3 customers under her. One of them, we'll just say all 3 of them got the greens. Well, that's 90 group volume. So she needs to get her volume up to 400. So that volume could either come from Cindy placing, or that volume can come from the upline placing below. So you can be boxed in to add a promotion, but you're not going to actually promote until all of the volume is in place, is what we say. So, and again, and volume comes in through a few ways. Volume comes in through your personal order, your auto ship. It could be a personal order that you place. Okay, it could be an order of a distributor under you or loyal customer that you place. So, let's just say that you were boxed in here and Nicole is the only one short. Well, Nicole could either order something, Nicole could sign a loyal customer, Nicole could have a distributor under her who orders something, or you could even place an order and move it. So there's lots of different ways to fill volume in once you get to the point of being boxed. So always just be talking with your upline or your sponsor about different promotions. I hope that answers that. Okay, so next thing I wanted to quick talk about was profile. And so this guy, John Eric, he's basically a social media guru. He's amazing. And I've learned more from him about social media than anybody. And I just got to hear him talk about how important your profile. So there's a few things I took from it and I thought, oh, this is something I just want to share. So we talk a lot about adding friends and growing your network, and he said the big thing you want to do is before you're growing your network and before you are adding a bunch of people and friends, it's really important to take a close look at your profile and make sure that your profile looks good before you're adding all these people, because it's your profile is the first thing that they see, and it's gonna, if you have a positive, if they see it and they're like, oh, your profile looks great, they're gonna say yes, I want to be your friend, or they're gonna want to follow you more. And but if not, then look, my cheeks are like red, it's kind of freaking me out. The first question he says is, would you follow you? So your profile is your logo. It's basically what everyone's looking at first. So there's a few things. I think there's 4, or was there 5? I guess maybe I'll talk about 5 things super quick because I'm already at 13 minutes. I want to make sure these are short. First one is your picture of you. Your profile picture should absolutely be a picture of you. He talked about it's you, especially since you're running a business. There shouldn't be a picture of your dog. It shouldn't be a picture of, it really should be a picture of you. He recommends that the picture should be shoulders up, actually, and not too much busy in the background. Just a picture of your shoulders and not mainly your face. If you're thinking about, like, if you're messaging someone and there's just a tiny little circle, you want people to be able to see you, see your face. And this is you, just have it be as clear as can be, basically. I recommend not having something at works related, especially if it's just a graphic. He talked about, I mean, that's just not personal. It's not thoughtful. You just want it to be a picture of you if possible. Next thing he's going to talk about is your introduction, and that's, let me just flip it around. So your introduction is, I've worked on my intro since I've learned about it. So, let me click here. So your intro is this part right here. Okay, so this is again, so here's a picture of me. It's close up. You can clearly see it's me. It's whatever. So that's my headshot, and I took his advice and did that. The next part is your intro. It's going to be something like short and sweet. You want it to be catchy. Emoji, guys, they're a great thing. Yes, people can get a little obnoxious with emojis, but be tasteful and use them. People are drawn to them. So in my intro, I didn't put anything about It Works. You guys, can you still hear me? Sorry, it said poor connection. Sorry. One of the things he talked about is how when somebody looks at your profile, it's okay that they can tell that you're an It Works distributor, and yet I've chosen to make it so that if first glance you might not even know I'm an It Works distributor, and not because I'm embarrassed about it, but because I want people to know me for me first, rather than being like, oh, she's another one of those It Works people. Because sadly, It Works people have done a disservice, I guess, to It Works, because they've done a lot of spamming in the past. There's been a lot of just in your face kind of things, and it's just, they haven't been thoughtful. And so we're really just kind of trying to change the face of that, and we want to be thoughtful, and we want people to see us for who we are and not just for It Works in your face. And so a lot of times if people see that you're an It Works person, they won't actually follow you. So you don't want your Facebook profile page to be screaming It Works, black, green, bling. Everything is It Works, you know, your profile pictures, It Works, your background is It Works. You don't want to say It Works distributor, I love It Works. Like, that's just not what you want. You want people to fall in love with you first, trust you, be thoughtful with your posting, and then it's really important. So, okay, first one is your profile picture. The next one you talked about is your intro. Have it be something about you. Mine says wife, mommy, child of the king, and dream chaser. So again, it's It Works related to me, but people are going to be like, oh, what's that? So you can kind of get creative with that. The other one he talked about was where you work. And so a lot of people have been talking about how, again, Facebook is really trying to clean up the spamming that's been going on, and they really, as a whole, Facebook doesn't love the idea of network marketing businesses using Facebook as a platform. It's really technically not even allowed. So that's why we want to be really careful if we're promoting our products. We want to do it in a thoughtful way of us just sharing something. So in my working, I took out anything It Works because I don't want have any reason for It Works to say, for Facebook, I mean, to say, oh, what are you doing on Facebook here? You shouldn't be doing that. So I changed mine to a memory-making mom and a business owner. So again, people, if they have questions about that, they can certainly ask me. Okay. Oh, hey, Sarah. I'm glad you're here. So the other one is then where you work. So I took off anything It Works related. And then the other part he talked about was, this kind of just goes in general. You want, if people are looking at your profile, you don't want them, if they scroll down and see some things, you do not want them to only see black, green, and bling. Now, if somebody is going to look at my profile, they're going to see very quickly that I'm an It Works distributor, but my posts are going to be thoughtful. They're going to be, yes, I'll have pictures of some of my products, me using the products. I'm going to have people, be asking them to join my team and things like that, but it's not going to be screaming that, and they're also going to see my lifestyle in there. So basically, you want to scroll through, and if you see primarily black, green, and bling, and it's all these graphics, I also say don't, if you're going to be looking for graphics, good places to look are It Works Global page, because they are good resolution. You know that they're compliant and they're approved, versus going to, don't just Google It Works images and use those. First of all, lots of them are so grainy, and it just looks, they look bad. And some of them, they're not even compliant. They could say something in there that's not even compliant. So we just want to stay away from that and be careful. So go to the It Works Global page. They have new images all the time. Go ahead and use those. And even better yet, if you're going to be posting something about the greens, you're going to be better off than just posting one of those pictures that you can find. You're going to be better off posting a picture of you using the greens in your life, in your house, with a picture of yourself. Studies have showed that selfies, whether you like taking them or not, they get so much more attention than just regular product picture posts. Like if you just take the generic greens post off of eSuite and just plop that on your page, you could say something super awesome, but if you I was saying you could say something super awesome, but if people aren't drawn to the picture, then they're not going to even click on it and read the words. So your pictures are so important. So if your picture is, again, just these generic graphics that are grainy and they're just not thoughtful, then you're not going to have, oh, my cheeks are so red, then you're not going to have people stopping to look and read your words that you put time into. So just be really thoughtful with your pictures. Think twice about the pictures you're putting on. Make sure they're not grainy. Make sure they're good quality. If you are, yes, I definitely sometimes use the corporate pictures, like if we have a BOGO or things like that, but try to get creative in your pictures. Something else, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but with your pictures, since they're so important because you want people to click on your picture then to read your words, take a second to do some editing on it. So what I like to do, I like to put a couple filters on it. So I actually go and I upload my pictures through Instagram, and then I just kind of play around with it and get my pictures to look just pleasing to the eye. Because sometimes if I take a picture and the lighting is bad, I'm just like, this doesn't look right. So I'll just throw it through a filter really quick and upload it. And the picture just all of a sudden it looks more pleasing to the eye. And again, the pictures are a really important thing, because if people like the picture, they're going to read your words. And the more people who read your post, the more the algorithm that Facebook does, they show it to more people. So it's really important that you put time and energy into your posts. You're gonna be way better off posting three, four times a day if you're thoughtful with your posts and taking time with them versus posting every hour. You're just gonna have a lot more. You'll be more thoughtful that way. Okay, and the last thing I was going to talk about that John Eric talked about was just using the feature photos. So I just actually learned about this. I don't know how I didn't, but let me see what can actually. You can see there's 5 photos that you can always feature. So that means that when people are clicking on your profile and they say photos, there's going to be 5 photos that you can choose for people to see. So the reason why this is good is because how often do you get like tagged in a picture of something, or they're just pictures, yeah, like, I mean, this is really funny. Like, I love that she did this, a friend of mine, but I don't want this to be the first thing that people see when they go to my page. So there could be, and I don't even necessarily want my It Works picture to be the first one that people see when they go to my page. So I want them to be able to see me. So the reason why I have the feature photo, it's featured photos, did I say that right? Is so that when people are going and checking out your profile, they're always going to see these first 5 ones first. And that way that's ensuring that they're seeing a good look at you, a good picture of you. So however you want people to, if you want people to know you as an adventurer or somebody who's positive and uplifting, which of course that's the way we should be on Facebook, keep your dirty laundry off, then you can kind of set the tone for what your profile is going to be. So anyways, those are the main things. So those 5 things again about your profiles. 1, your profile picture should be of you, shoulders up, nice picture of you. The second one is your description. Put a description in there. I recommend with all of this trying to keep It Works off. Again, not because we're not proud of It Works, but because we want people to see us for us first. And then as they're following us and we're building a relationship, they can see how It Works just is just one of our passions and fits seamlessly into our lives, and how we can share about it as we do life. And then the other one was where you work. So again, that kind of goes into that, the intro, and then where you work. The other one was making sure that the photos that you are posting are good quality, of yourself using the products. And then of course the last item was the feature photos. If you haven't done that yet, go ahead. So just clean up your profile. It's really, really important. It's the first thing that people see as you're inviting them to either learn more about the products or you, or doing your posts in general. If they're clicking on your profile, you want it to be positive. You want people to see you as a real live person who cares about other things other than just throwing It Works in people's faces. Okay. Anything else, guys? I talked fast as usual, but it was 22 minutes. Yeah. Anything else? I feel like I could talk about being thoughtful a lot, just because that's something that I learned a lot from John Eric in general, and I had to learn how to do that in my business. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go so I don't take any more of your time. And have a happy, happy Tuesday. Talk to you later.